Fellow Sierra Leoneans, me na Alhaji Mohammed Warise, a Sierra Leonean, we're based in the United States right now. Today, we become engaged in a very, very important program. An important program in a sense, it get for do with economy in Sierra Leone. It get for do with how the people away will be not elect, how they manage the economy in Sierra Leone. Today, I go for ensure say una all take part in the program. I go for ensure say una all be part of this program today because it talk about things that will affect me and you. We talk about the economic crisis in Sierra Leone. So because everybody in Sierra Leone get affected by this particular adverse effect of the economy, that make I think say today we're going to listen to our voice more when we come to what we talk. Before we go into the discussions, I want for to take a quick break because we're going to talk about very, very important thing then. Let's take a quick break. Usai, we will listen to the British High Commissioner where they talk about waiting the trend now, the voter registration.
Hello, we Salon Fambolen. Mina the British High Commissioner Lisa Chesley. Ade magburka today na tonko lili. Ade call we all for come out na door and come register. Because na the power where you get for pick in the next election, who that will represent you. This week, we go all about na the country. If you see we, make we tell our do. Today, we're on voter observation missions across the whole country. It's phase 2 of voter observation. We're talking to electoral commission officials, to party agents, and to people registering to vote. It's your civic responsibility and your right to vote. But if you don't register, you won't be able to vote next year. So make sure you have your say in Sierra Leone's future and come out and register to vote.
Thank you very much, Her Excellency, the High Commissioner from Britain to Sierra Leone. We tell and thank you for that message. The Sierra Leoneans, now we come together, now we can talk about things them way they affect Sierra Leone. Now we can talk about things them way they border on we daily lives. Now we can talk about things them way me and you know say, no they go well in Sierra Leone. We get plenty to talk about today. We main topic today, Sierra Leoneans, it got to do with the economic crisis. We say for this economic crisis, who are responsible between the bank governor, the president, we get the Ministry of Finance, and the Parliament of Sierra Leone. We can't talk, we can't exchange views. That make us say today, I give a try for listen to una more. I give a try for listen to una because fortunately or unfortunately, me not the Sierra Leone. I go put some say unfortunately because I always look for the Sierra Leone. But unfortunately, me not the Sierra Leone. Now, una the Sierra Leone. Now, they feel the brunt of waiting the happen. So today, I give a turn the mic to una. Today, I give a listen to una. The people of Sierra Leone, the authorities in Sierra Leone, give for listen to una. The international community, give for listen to una views about the state of the economy. So what you make for do today, now for just present few lectures, about waiting parliament they do, we can to the economy, about waiting the bank governor they do, or the central bank they do, we come to the economy, about waiting the president they do, and the Ministry of Finance, we come to the economy, we come to managing the economy. At the tell you now, the roles, the responsibilities of them three key players there in the economy. So let we sit tight, let we fasten with belt, because today we get plenty for say. But we not reach that main discussion day if we not talk about waiting the trend right now, we know how for lost focus of the voter registration. So we're going to talk about the voter registration. We're going to talk about it seriously because it is important as the economy, to we. Because it will help we for inform Sierra about what not happened so far, you understand, in the voter registration process. So we'll talk about that, but we'll not go too, go into that too much because we get big thing for talk about. So dear, when join me, what I got for do today, now for do a lecture, then I turn the mic to una the people then. For let una tell the Sierra-Leoneans, let una tell the government what you not feel, how you think, what you not go through when it comes to the economy crisis. And I will therefore get an assignment for una. At the end of my analysis, I will therefore ask una for describe the economy in 2 or 3 words. I want to begin plan that one now. Una the people of Sierra, the way they suffer, what you know they suffer, and therefore talk to una. Let una tell we in 2 or 3 words how una describe the economy after the analysis. But for now, let me take a short break as we listen to other voter registration campaign message.
Fam Leonardo, Mina Samura Kamara, Muna sabi this face now. Presidential candidate for the APC 2018 and presidential aspirant for the flag bearership of the APC for 2023 elections. When we start this voter registration process, I've been talked to una. I've been plead with una. For let all man come out, we eligible for register. Tuesday, we dey start phase 2. I want start for tell una thank you. Una always come out for register. Una no give up. If you not register, phase 1 must come out and register for phase 2. I want tell the agents and all we facilitate. I want tell thank you to all the staff of the ECSL. We facilitate the process. And more particularly, I want to tell we international development partners them. We try for follow up this process for make sure say it go on smoothly. We encounter a lot of difficulties during phase 1. Our ECSL make sure say then difficulty also will not repeat them. I emphasize to them as always, they don't get target. They don't get a number for proof to anybody except that number. We then register. We all man register for votes. That is the number. Don't forgive any center a target. Do you allow avoid all the one? There is no target. No law no they will give you the target. No law no say now one machine for the registration center. The rule is that democratic rule. Anybody we eligible, who don't reach the age for register for vote, forget the facility, the opportunity for register. When the time reach, you will go vote. First time voters them, do you allow them? They are not strangers. They are not a part of the building of Sierra Leone. So do you ECSL, not create problems for first time voters. Police are there around, no create problems there. So either then the whole old people them, they say they go loiter. Then they go Hamburg. No. If person go there, he try for make sure say, let people then register. Una listen and facilitate. Nobody no one for Google's confusion and registration center. That is democracy. That is peace. The people them, they wanna continue for beer. Let nobody not drive you in a registration center. You get the right for register. No vex. However, I say, you go register. That patience will not show during the first phase, and let us show more of that in the second phase, when they start this coming Tuesday. I tell you, thank you.
So, Fambulem, today, like I've been saying, we can't talk about then tweeting there. And when I don't listen to Dr. Samora Kamara, when I've been a flag bearer for the APC in 2018, he say something very key in that message. He say, we're not afraid, now we're right for register. We're not afraid, now we're right for register. I pick them two things. So, going forward, let's start to talk about why make we choose that particular topic at this critical point for us to talk about them. We my own program, I call them a democracy on the brink. Why we choose? Why I choose that particular program day? Why I choose that particular name day? And why we choose this topic here today? Now, because I believe it's a sound economic policy get almost everything for do with democracy. Democracy na good governance. Democracy na accountability. Democracy na the rule of law. Usai people them uphold the rule of law. Usai people them when the authority, they uphold good governance. Usai people within our authority, them believe say, therefore be accountable to the citizenry. Will they get better economic situation or stability? Now that's me believe. So now that make we say, now we can talk about this particular topic today, the economic crisis. We want to choose to talk about them because we hear members of parliament, especially from the opposition, we see opposition newspapers, they talk about bank governor, one for blame bank governor, one for blame this economic crisis on bank governor. Hear me out. We not defend bank governor now. We not in any way try for defend the bank governor. They get very, very bad policies. You get, despite the fact say he's highly educated, now a professor in economics, but yet we think say you get policy them we not they in line with what you need for move the country, for manage the country in currency. So because we had that kind of argument there, now that make we decide say, let us give a picture of what we think, what we know, say, now info entail. Now that make today we can talk about, like I've been say, the responsibility of the central bank, where the bank governor they manage. The responsibility of the Ministry of Finance, where now the president get up. And then what's the role of parliament in all of this? We can't talk about until then. Una gets the mic. Una get for tell me now. Who that responsible? How una see am? Me say for do me analysis. I get for do me analysis, for draw inferences them, for bring examples they can to una. Basically analysis. But we not go into that discussion the proper if we not talk about something very important to we all when at the voter registration process where they go on. We don't see a process usai the ECSL don't go into them. In the past, what we be not used for do, we ensure say not to just follow we get political parties and civil society that involved in the process of procurement and verification of software, but we've been see in the past, usai we can always do pilot program. Pilot program, it simply means testing program. Where you want to do big program, what you do? You do pilot and force. You do pilot, what they mean by pilot, how they pilot program. If you for do registration, Now 2,000 centers around the country. You go choose like 100 centers around the country and do pilot of that particular program there. What you make you do pilot? Now, because you have a test, you program where you don't put it in place. Now, because you have a test, the system where you don't put in place. Let you know if you work or if you need to work. If you know the work, you come back to the drawing board before the actual date for your program for roll them out. You don't know waiting for correct and waiting not for correct. But what we see now the ECSL, now the fact say ECSL or NEC go into the process without informing Sierra Leoneans. Put it that way there. Then go into the process, then go procure what they want for procure, then go build the software where they want for build, then go buy what they want for buy. They not even do pilot for let people that know say, okay, let them begin get a feel. Say registration, they come, nothing like that. They not do. So what happen at the end of the day? When the day for registration come, when at the third, people now the opposition stronghold, then find out say, then disadvantaged. How? Machine they're not better. Generators are not there. Power supply not been there. This na freeton they talk about. This na freeton. Usai we supposed for to get light. Not to them in village na market. Not to them. Not to me village na Makali. Not to them. This na freeton we talk about. People not being able forget for register. Then they refuse people them. We not get ordinary birth certificates, even though the person don't old 30, 40 years, 50 years. Granny, then they ask us we birth certificate. We see Usai, the one that will suffer the brunt of that. Now the first time voters. We see Usai then come, they refuse a lot, thousands, hundreds of thousands of first time voters. So that Indians, in most democracies, when are they going to elections, the people that will make the bulk of the voting population for every time when are they going to election, now the young and first-time voters them. We can always or most times make up at least or at most 25%. It depends how you want to look at them. At most or at least 25%. That's a huge number in the electoral process. NEC or ECSL, they know this. They know say first-time voters them, they can make good amount of the voters them wait for turnout by that election day. So what did they do? Then fidget the software them. Now the Southeast, they mean say, so the people don't really get problem. Now the Southeast. People not really get any issue in the Southeast. But when you come to the Northwest, first-time voters them, they get serious problem because the machine not be even they accept them. So you see, say they do two programs. They do one program for the Southeast, who side they know that the government is stronghold. Then do another separate program in that software for the Northwest. Not so that I mean the million problem, because from where they appoint Corner, where they appoint the electoral commissioners them, we all see say government appoint people that win and SFP people them. That's not a million problem. Million problem is the politicians will be in at the opposing side. They're not being get interest for talk. They're not being get interest for look at this. They're not being get interest for question NEC or the ECSL. Say, hey, what in do? We don't see when I don't start this program. First day, second day, third day. At least you NEC or you opposition wait for the third day. At least wait for the third day. But we don't see Usai, the members of the opposition, they not talk. The one they were supposed to talk, they not talk. Say they reach to 2 weeks inside the voter registration. Now they tell them begin talk. So for we conclude say, based on other evidence that we don't see, we don't get, including the evidence that the Africanist press they give you, we conclude say the opposition within a parliament, the opposition within a 21-man committee of the APC, the opposition, basically a good number of them, we conclude say they don't compromise. It's difficult for belief, trust me, it's hard to believe, but yes, now that's our conclusion, because a serious opposition, where then you get that kind of process then you monitor them from start to finish. Me within America now, the last time I've been read from NEC, ECSL, the strategy from 2020 to 2024. Then get a strategy where they put in place for ensure say now that process now need to follow for conduct elections in Sierra Leone. The strategy now from 2020 to 2024. Me, within America, I've been able to get hands on that particular document today. So what about the politician? Where especially then at the opposition, we in business now for win election for the people there. What about that politician there? Then pretend as if they not care, they not be the monitor ECSL, they not be the monitor NEC. I want give una a very good example or very good case study of why we confirm say these people not been they're not been the pay attention, they're not been the watch them process there. And in fact, up to now, we're not sure whether the watch waiting. If you now remember, a few days back, there was an audio put out by one Mr. or lawyer Ahmed Sise. This audio is say, Mr. Ahmed Sise say, they don't get meeting with ECSL or NEC. So they don't get meeting. Now a meeting where they call political party liaison committee meeting. You say NEC, ECSL don't agree. They don't agree for add 2 days. So they don't agree for add 2 days. They not tell we, in the Ahmed not tell we say, them, the political parties, them, or the opposition, they frown at that. It tell we comfortably, say they don't get meeting, and in that meeting, ECSL or NEC don't agree, say they go add 2 days. It give we the date all. Few minutes after that one day, now I see a press release. But this press release turned out to be fake. Waiting do. How we know? Because I been get the public relations director, now NEC or ECSL, I've been getting number. I been going to send that press release to them. I said, this now, na sir? He said, no. He said, this press release is now fake. So, waiting that tell you say, people where they present them face to una, like say, then they represent una. They are not representing you people. They are not representing you people. Otherwise, somebody like lawyer Ahmed Sise, we don't pass several information to APC people them, not for come with that message they, and can't talk say, then don't agree. In principle, that they tell me, say they not agree for let NEC add only 2 days. 2 extra days for the extension. I want to draw on mind back. 2012, nothing less than 2 weeks was added. 2018, nothing less than 2 weeks was added. Even though their registration and day now been 30 days complete. Even though the registration process and day now been 30 days complete. But yet, nothing less than 2 weeks was added. So, if we come to a process, Usai, now only 15 days ECSL take for register people them. How you, opposition, where they represent people their interest in a situation, Usai, the first 1 week, 2 weeks of the voter registration, we see say, not to just the fact say the machine and in crap problem in the, especially in the opposition stronghold, NEC self confirm and say, then get technical challenges. So why a member of the opposition for the advocate for make them add just 2 days. The party called me from Freetown. He said, what he said, I cannot believe this. He said, I said, what happened? He said, for saying neck, now 2 days they accept, or now 2 days then give for extension. He said, that means they not plan for register people, they not plan for do registration. See, because in the first phase, he said, we're not seeing nothing. A lot of problems been there. So if they don't fix the problem, even though the bigger problem being the corruption around procurement, if they don't fix the problem, you opposition, not for the advocate, or lawyer Ahmed Sise, you not for the advocate for just 2 days. We listen to audio. I get an hour, and I waste with time because most of we listen to that audio there. We listen to them, we hear what he say, and we know what he say. First of all, Ahmed Sise, or lawyer Ahmed Sise, he lie for saying they don't get meeting with ECSL or NEC. He lie. Secondly, he don't believe na that the opposition not for register. And Sierra Leoneans, this is not part of the ploy. This is not part of the game. This is not part of the rogue politicians. We don't agree say, Mada Bio forget second term. These are part of them. We know them games, we know them deals, we know their relationship with the first family. We know most of these people, how then they behave and what then they can do. And they create a situation for ensure say, Mada Bio gets second term. We all know the law. I know we don't have to go into that one again. The law where they go pass the parliament, the opposition, how they pass the law, what to make the electoral process, the registration process, get this kind of bottleneck. Now because of the kind of law where they go pass. Then here we are seeing somebody who's supposed to be a learned lawyer, we understand the law. We say in a member of the opposition, the advocate for 2 days, just 2 days for extension for voters and for register, especially whose side they don't disadvantage a lot of voters then, first-time voters especially, now the north and the western area. So we bring up some of them tear come out to now, for now understand, say, these guys in Sierra Leone, then they up to something. We're not good for me and you too. Now that make we say, no habo pandewan there for help we pull Mada Bio na power. You vote, now you power. You vote, now inge for determine how we go forward. Another thing we want to talk about, we insist on ECSL NEC for make them add minimum 2 weeks to each of the phases. Because if they cannot do it all round, then they go back for make sure say at least we'll get at least 1 month, put an away there. Go back ECSL and give it minimum 2 weeks. Because it is part of the standard. It's part of the best practice. Now, so we don't see we conduct elections them. Waiting do, in fact, we need 2 weeks or more. Now, because this time, not to the fact say people lethargic, then go for go sell, they don't register. No, this time, people willing for come out, especially now the opposition stronghold, they're willing for come out for register. So you NEC, because you business now for ensure transparency, accountability, and fairness, you for ensure say you give everybody an equal and a level playing field. Because you not in NEC, you not referee, you not get on the role where you perform. You not referee. We not say we not SLPP, but at least for your credibility, when you don't take them position there, be seen, at least be seen to be balanced, be seen to be objective. Another thing we ask ECSL, and we not the people of Sierra Leone for ask for, then get for GUI these aggregated figures, then get for GUI the voters, how we don't register, by center, by constituency if possible, by ward, by district, and you left and they. No, add anything again, just left them. Give we them statistics and they. We will do the balance, we will do the calculation. Give them by center because you get the record, you get the data, you get the database. Give them by ward, and then you give them by district. That time day or that way day, you don't ensure accountability, you don't ensure transparency. People do not get question for ask anymore. People do not get anything for ask because what you do is critical. It's as critical as the election itself. Because now, some 10 and day, people and they use for rig election, for rogue, for who that they want to let them win. That make we always continue to talk about the fact say the election already don't be compromised. The integrity of the election don't already be compromised because if ECSL don't do procurement of $10 million, where they not forget account for, that don't tell me say the election in itself don't already be compromised. Waiting do because ECSL they no go want for the mother bill in government come on power. They no go want and they no go let come because they know so way mother bill in government can power. The next government where they come, then go hold them accountable to that procurement where they may do. So that make the financial corruption is very, very critical to the voter registration because if you compromise how you manage the money and that thing don't come out, you will compromise the election itself. You go want mother be a win by hook or by crook. But when they get there, what will reach there? When they get there. Sierra Leoneans, send me a message now and tell me if you're underage or you don't reach the age or you go reach the age by June 2023, send message to this Facebook group, messaging system and tell me whose side there, whose community there, and why make them not register you, especially the first-time voters or anybody who encounter problem. If the person able right, yeah, wanna help her, wanna send message for we because we want to read them message then there from the different communities. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we want to go into the trouble properly. We want to go into the crisis, the economic crisis we created by Marabio a regime. The economic crisis we created by the bank governor. The economic crisis we created by this parliament where we get Sierra Leone. So stay tuned. We will see on the other side as we continue the program after the short break.
Fam Leonardo, Mina Samura Kamara, Muna sabi this face now. Presidential candidate for the APC 2018 and presidential aspirant for the flag bearership of the APC for 2023 elections. When we start this voter registration process, I've been talked to Una. I've been pleaded with Una. For let all man come out, we eligible for register. Tuesday, we start phase 2. I want to start for tell Una thank you. Una always come out for register. Una no give up. If you not register, phase 1 must come out and register for phase 2. I want to tell the agents and all we facilitate. I want to tell thank you to all the staff of the ECSL. We facilitate the process. And more particularly, I want to tell we international development partners them. We try for follow up this process for make sure say it go on smoothly. We encounter a lot of difficulties during phase 1. Our ECSL make sure say then difficulty also will not repeat them. I emphasize to them, as always, they don't get target. They don't get a number for proof to anybody except that number. We then register. We all man register for votes. That is the number. Don't forget any center a target. Do you allow avoid all the way? There is no target. No law no they will give you the target. No law no say now one machine for the registration center. The rule is that democratic rule. Anybody we eligible who don't reach the age for register for vote, forget the facility, the opportunity for register. When the time reach, they will go vote. First time voters them, do you not allow them? They are not strangers. They are not a part of the building of Sierra Leone. So do you ECSL? Don't not create problems for first time voters. Police are there around. We not create problems them. So either then the whole people them they say they go loiter, then they go Hamburg. No, if person go there, he try for make sure say let people they register. Una listen and facilitate. Nobody no one for Google's confusion and registration center. That is democracy. That is peace. The people them do wanna continue for beer. Let nobody not drive you in a registration center. You get the right for register. No vex. However, I say, you go register. That patience will not show during the first phase, and they will not show more of that in the second phase when they start this coming Tuesday. I tell you, thank you.
Hello, we Salon Fambolden. Mina the British High Commissioner Lisa Chesney. Ade magburka today na tonko lili. Ade call we all for come out na door and come register. Because na the power where you get for pick in the next election, who that will represent you. This week, we go all about na the country. If you see we, make we tell our do. Today, we're on voter observation missions across the whole country. It's phase 2 of voter observation. We're talking to electoral commission officials, to party agents, and to people registering to vote. It's your civic responsibility and your right to vote. But if you don't register, you won't be able to vote next year. So make sure you have your say in Sierra Leone's future and come out and register to vote.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all who now we don't send text messages so far. I want for take me time for read their message there because I don't promise it today. This program now for una the people them because while the authorities them make them hear una concerns, make them know what una they feel and what una they think. I get Usmani Kamara. He say what ECSL is doing to Sierra Leoneans with regards to the registration process is a disgrace. The CNN media empire, of course, just have send message, then they greet everybody. We don't join me within the platform today. And Bristol, they say good evening from Bristol. I think the Saturday the person day that Delwin Thomas. Thank you very much, Delwin. I know say the other way from that far. Tamba Musa Mose, talk true, my brother. Then in short message is sent. Been to Sankor, he say good evening. Good evening to you, Bintu. Tamba Mose again say good evening all listeners of this program from Kono. That's very good. Somebody listen to me way from Kono district. And Mami Kamara said this bank governor has proven that he is incapable of the task. I will read them, in a way. One could wonder, as a professor in economics, he can't manage an economy of 3 to 4 billion. I'm convinced the office of governor is too big for him to manage. That now, Mr. Almami Kamara, in your view. Thank you very much, Mr. Almami Kamara. Media Empire, they say again a very warm welcome to Allman, then Daniel Kamara. Hi, Comrade Queta. Comrade Queta, unfortunately, Comrade Queta not denier. He say Ahmed Sise is an enemy of progress in this party. Wow. That's a strong word, that's a big word, The other person say, talk through my brother. The other person tell me say, Usmani, they watch you from Philly, and Philadelphia, United States of America. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I'll keep the message them. They come. I want to concentrate on them. Then thing they want to talk about. At the end of the analysis, I want to talk to me in 3 words. We are not be more than 3 words. Describe the current economy we get in Sierra Leone. And they can't talk about the roles and responsibilities of the bank. And they can't talk about the roles and responsibilities of Parliament. And they can't talk about the roles and responsibilities. Before I do my own analysis, before I try to draw inferences and differences and examples for Gilna, I want to talk about their roles there. Then, of course, we get for talk in the words of the bank governor. In your words, we get for make Leona Naya. Before he be bank governor, and after he don't be bank governor, to few days ago. And we're going to talk about a lot of happening. So this program, Sierra Leoneans, this now you, when I think about that, tell me in 3 words, how you go describe the current economy in Sierra Leone. I want to read them. What make I want to do them? I want to make it short so that authorities in Sierra Leone, then go listen to them, then go understand, they go try for, say, hold on, if the people then get this kind of view, then we get for do something about the economy. So long, not just then for criticize. Anybody can do it. I mean, it's your right. You want to criticize, you criticize well and good. But now provide some solutions. Now we describe this economy in 3 words. Is it the disaster? Is it the calamity? This economy is dead, or is the economy creep? I mean, those I want Sierra Leoneans alone are dealing, then 3 words, or just a short phrase about how you would describe this particular economy. So now we'll go first for look into the role of the central bank. I take this particular role of the central bank in the 2011 Bank of Sierra Leone Act, 2011. Now law where they make for regulate, for show how the bank supposed for operate, how waiting the bank established for, and all of them things. Let's tell you first of all, say this bank, when at the Central Bank of Sierra Leone, is supposed to be autonomous. When they say autonomous, somehow it forgets independence. Not to semi-autonomous, but it get complete autonomy. You understand, for operate and do business on its own. So then they tell you say to a large extent is separate from government, even though the president, then they appoint directors, and they appoint the bank governor, deputy bank governor, and all that. But yet still, then give the president, because they know say the president a fountain of honor. You know, go bring any kind of Kalukalo person. You know, go bring rogues for come manage the bank. So now that make them give the president that kind rights they for they appoint the people them who will manage the bank. But yet they get that autonomy for do what they're supposed to do. So I get this particular at the references particular time they can talk about the roles and responsibilities, because I pull them now the Bank of Sierra Leone Act 2011. It say how they establish this bank. It say the bank shall be an autonomous institution and shall in that respect not be subject to the control or direction of any person or authority. The bank they get autonomy. Even though that the president, now they appoint, now they say, now they do, but yet still, this bank, nobody, no institution, no go subject them to any directive. They're not going to control them. They're not going to tell them waiting if or do. Waiting do, now professionals them. Now then they put they're supposed to be able to know how they for run that bank without somebody telling them what to do. Notice so? Now, when allow we see, they are big Sierra-Leoneans, let me see waiting at them function, waiting at their role, how therefore they do things them. One, they say the first role now formulate and implement monetary policy. And therefore they try for broke them till they are down small as we go, because me they talk Pancreo largely because I want me on my way in a Sigwema, me yerini, me no say now this year they talk about monetary policy. Now we money with Leons. How the Leons for day, what's for do the Leons, what's for happen with the Leons, how the Leons will be managed. So then policy then they, now then they formulate them policy then they. And then they formulate them policy then they. If government don't make a policy, the bank governor get for try for them in tune with that policy the government don't make for ensure say they will manage this money. The second one say the bank is supposed to act as banker, advisor, and fiscal agent of government. Now then get for keep with money. Now then get for advice about how we pull and put money. Now then get for say, hey, this money don't small. Hey, this money not bad. I mean, the better. It look like say we get some money now we hand. The bank governor or the bank, central bank, now they rule that one day. 3, they say they're supposed to formulate and implement the foreign exchange policy. How will they change money with China? How will they change money with America? How will they change money with the US? How will they change money, with England? How will they change money with other countries them? The bank get for they in charge, and they get for make them policy them, and they get for implement them policy then they get for formulate and implement them policy then they. The other thing we talk about when they say that they function, Sierra-Leoneans, I want to pay attention to this because that question of how you describe this economy, would you think say responsible? We get for talk about them, we get for listen to one more for what I tell we. The bank, they say, for conduct foreign exchange operations, they can buy and sell foreign exchange. They can do them for make sure say the foreign currency not dominates with Leons, manage them in that sense. The bank for own, hold, and maintain international reserves. All we money them, we get for connect with World Bank, we get for connect with IMF, we get for connect with and the Islamic Development Bank, all the international banks and this and that. Or all we businesses them outside Sierra Leone. We get for good foreign currency. This bank get for ensure say they manage them and bring proper reserve for we. The bank, the other function we then get, they say therefore issue and manage currency of Sierra Leone. The Leons. We got for make sure say now then they issue them and then they manage how it is in circulation. The other role where this bank get to now a big role and say therefore establish, promote, and license and oversee sound and efficient payment and security systems of their other banks them. Then smaller banks them through the central bank, they get for first of all license them. They get for regulate them. They get for tell we, they get for show how then bank them, they get for the operator we come to the currency. The other role they get to a big role now for regulate other financial institutions them. Regulate them and show say them institution they're not just for licensing them, not just for promoting them, not just for establishing them around what they do, but you get for regulate them. What they want for go bad, you say no, not so you get for go. No, that's so you get for go. Remember, very recently the bank want to be issue a statement where say all the banks in Sierra Leone get for the give certain amount of money, minimum, of so and so. The other role where they get again now for act as a depository for funds from international organization. The UN, if you want to keep money in Sierra Leone, if you get something in Sierra Leone, the IMF, if they want to keep money, they want to put money in Sierra Leone. International organization, UNICEF, you name them, NGOs. If Mississippi set up NGO now, I say another bank in Sierra Leone, I want to use the central bank. Yes, they're supposed to. Once that kind of international organization we recognized by government of Sierra Leone, they're supposed to work with them and be a depository. Now, therefore, they go deposit their money. Then, particular thing there, now in the bank get for do as function for ensure say with economy, Iran, or with currency, with financial currency, we monetary policy, they run smoothly. Now we talk about the role of the Ministry of Finance vis-a-vis the president. Because the president now in get directly for control the Ministry of Finance. In order for control the Bank of Sierra Leone, because the bank, central bank, then get autonomy. Central bank get autonomy, so in order to control bank governor. But the Ministry of Finance, now the president, now in the control them. So now look at what's at the Ministry of Finance, what's at their role, what's in saying at their role, what's at their responsibilities. I get this material from the Ministry of Finance, their website, where, of course, we all know say they're on the internet. I want to read, first of all, the preambles. It says, the ministry exercises the mandate in accordance with the principles of responsible financial management, in order to ensure prudent, efficient, effective, and transparent. In order to ensure prudent, efficient, effective, and transparent use of public funds, and is guided by the following principles of responsible financial management. The Ministry of Finance now then therefore ensure say we, the people of Sierra Leone, we know how then they pay presidents, how then they pay bank governor, how then they pay manager in a transparent way, where the president take money, then therefore make clear we know, so the president don't take this money, because it will be information way, not for be hidden. But in the case we don't see now outside Africanist press, they issue our publication. They tell me how the president they use money, the Ministry of Finance, then go find way for deny that one day. But yet they cannot tell us exactly what thing they happen. In fact, then they fair way for hide. If they already rotate bank staff then today, tomorrow they will sack finance staff them because they feel say that they give Africanist press, then document them they. Then they give Africanist press, then tin and they. So I don't know why make them for the hide with their responsibility now for ensure transparency of public funds. But let we go. As we read, when I go find out say, then get some overlapping responsibility. What in do? The bank of Sierra Leone, the central bank and the Ministry of Finance, they get overlapping responsibilities. What in do? Because they all deal with money, and they all deal with money we get for do with Sierra Leoneans. Yeah? So, they say the first responsibility, what they for do in ensuring prudent financial management, now for formulate and implement fiscal policies to achieve macroeconomic stability. Big word, eh? Macroeconomic stability. When you in a country, how we dey ensure say we do macroeconomic, make a left that side first. Ma talk about the roles and the responsibility. We can't talk about that in depth. Yeah. The second function we then get now for achieve and maintain prudent level of outstanding debt of the general government so as not to impose an inequitable burden on future generations and manage prudently the fiscal risk faced by Sierra Leone. I'll repeat for now, for we all. Achieve and maintain prudent level of outstanding debt of the general government so as not to impose an inequitable burden on future generations and manage prudently the fiscal risk faced by Sierra Leone. Their responsibility now for ensure say then implement policies them. We're not only for dealing with macroeconomic policies, but ensure say we get fiscal discipline, ensure say we get prudent spending, not just spend money anyhow. Ensure say we get that kind of discipline. How money they come in, how we spend them. Try for create that kind of balance. You understand, eh? What we call fiscal discipline. The other role we then get for perform now for achieve and maintain appropriate balance between revenues and expenditures of the general government. Revenues, how money they come, expenditures, how will they spend. Not so. Now we'll talk about the other one. The other role we then get to the fourth one, they say manage extractive industries revenues in accordance with Part 6 in order to contribute to transformational development and the fiscal responsibility principles specified in that particular section within part 6 of that act, of that law, where they create, where the finance, Minister of Finance, you understand, law, to where they manage the Minister of Finance. So this Minister of Finance, like I've been telling you, if you want to watch them, you go visit and get, or you see and get some overlapping responsibilities, some overlapping roles. Now, the final one we then get when a responsibility, provide timely, reliable, and adequate information to the public on fiscal objectives, policies, data, and risk to ensure transparency in the budgetary and financial management of the general government and public enterprises. Then they do, Then they come and they tell me how much the president and we have to take this week for go na Mali. Then they do, Then they come for tell me how much the president used for go na the UN General Assembly. Largely, no. Largely, yeah, the answer for them say no. They need to do. The only way they know now through the African Express. Now, let's look at Parliament. Let's see what's in Parliament, because now Parliament, especially the opposition, now they will see this shout boko about this bank governor. Now they will see the shout, the opposition papers them. Now they will see the shout plenty about this bank governor. Now look at what's in a Parliament in role for manage the central bank. Parliament now they're responsible for make that law with the central bank, the bank governor, deputy bank governor, and then board members them, where they for use for manage monetary policies. Now the parliament, now they rule that one day. What in the parliament rule again? Any step, major step where the people want for take, therefore ensure say then go and get parliamentary approval. For example, one change money from that old Leones to this new Leones. Who side them go? Forget approval. Now parliament. Now they're not just go up and go change money. No. Now parliament then go. Otherwise, if they mean grab for go change money, go do them on their own. The parliamentarian can tell you, say that law not to pass them. We not agree for that one day. But no, now they approve them. The parliament now they approve them. Not to just that the role, parliament, especially the account committee, the finance and account committee in a parliament, then supposed for the watch, therefore they provide oversight. Therefore they watch how the central bank, they manage the money within they manage. Not to just the central bank, even the Ministry of Finance. Now parliament, they approve any budget where the president want for use. The president not supposed to use any money if he not go with an parliament, then they go approve them. A big role, a big responsibility that one day. So we don't talk about these rules. We don't talk about these responsibilities. We don't talk about waiting. We all supposed to know about parliament. We come to central bank. We don't talk about waiting. The central bank says waiting at the role, waiting at the function. We don't talk about the Ministry of Finance, waiting at the role, waiting at the function. But what me pick, I don't know what you want to pick there. What me pick, now that all the people there, one way or the other, they're supposed to make clear me and you know. How parliament supposed to make clear me and you know. When they don't put budget before them, they're supposed to care and go to them people them, then go discuss. Hey, now this kind of money, now the president bring come and say, now they want spend for this year when they come. What you wanna say? How wanna see them? But this budget here, you get five things them, you get this, you get this, you get this for youth them, you get this for women them, you get this for vocational trade centers, you get this for college, you get this. Una supposed to go and go discuss with the people. Then they do them, we not hear it. We not hear it. But the representation, it means say members of parliament supposed to go to come to we and can discuss these budgets. If they don't do them by television, they do them by meetings, several ways and the way they can do them. Right? So for me, I always don't say parliament, they get a bigger role for play. Now that make, I've been talk time back in Sierra Leone, why did they work with parliament? I say, if parliament agree, if parliament serious, if parliament ready, if they get what it take, we don't need the anti-corruption commission, because the anti-corruption commission, in fact, now Ben Kafala and I can confirm to we all, Ben Kafala and I can make we all don't know say, now waste of taxpayers' resources, now waste of money. Well, if parliament not get trained, if parliament not get the power what it's supposed to get, if parliament not get what it take for make them do what they're supposed to do, trust me, all of them people there, at the end of the day, they're not going to be accountable to we. So Nigerians, what to make, we can't talk about the interview we get for do it, the bank governor, series of interviews that we don't do before they make a bank governor, and where he did recently, that interview, what we can't talk about them. Now, because like I've been saying earlier, we don't see Usai opposition people them, then they call on the bank governor for resign. As if they want for throw the bank governor under the bus. They want for give the blame, saying they're responsible for the economy. They say they're responsible for the economy. By the way, like you know this breaking news, the current inflation rate, the current inflation rate na Sierra Leone. The current inflation rate na Sierra Leone. Before I go inside this topic, why they can't do so, important I talk about this. The current inflation rate na Sierra Leone na 29.50% in July. In June, na been 28%. So from June to July, it jumped to 29.50%. So in fact, listen to the current, because we did in September right now. Oh, sorry, we did in October right now. So this one not to the current. So if you jump from from 28 in June to 29.50 in July, that means in the last 2 months, it would be about 33 or 34%. The inflation rate. Also, I get this figure. Now, trading economics. Now, one way don't they do data from 1986. Then they pan this kind of thing for do data for countries around the world. Yeah? So now they will get a reference there. Usai, them people are waiting up government right now, the bank governor, this Minister of Finance, the president, this parliament, Usai they meet inflation in 2018 when they took over, they meet them at about 16-17%. That 10 day, all man they grumble, say the economy don't go down, the economy don't get problem. Oh, this they don't spend, baku. Even though we me, I know say we don't hit by Ebola than any other country around the sub-region. We get strong lockdown, we get serious problem in 2014, 2015. Then we get a twin shock of iron ore, we get serious trouble. But yet, they bring this background for Leona get a preamble, Leona get for which I can talk about. But yet, we been get inflation at 16-17% in 2017, 2018. So, building from that background and what not happen to we, and when they go into election, we say, well, no. When you go into election, government they spend more money. A lot of money they be spent. So 2018, if inflation they 17%, that now strong fall down there. Now serious fall down there where the currency or where the currency they take. Now serious fall. But that time the exchange rate not be reach 10,000 leons. I mean 7.5 thousand leons to a dollar. Right? And they build that background to USA we did today, where the economy, if you take the economic trading, then data, where they give you, where in July, have been 29.5% of inflation right now. Take them and add the 2 months, call them say 33, because we all see how the dollar they go. In fact, when I go text me, tell me, what's in the dollar rate yesterday, because today is Sunday, I'm not sure say the trade in dollars, but what's in the dollar rate yesterday and Friday, so that I will talk about Anaya. You understand me? So, this bank governor, where they appoint right now, the person where before they appoint him, he been talked to a particular journalist. I borrowed this from the Africanist Press Chernobyl in discussion we get in this same program yesterday. I borrowed this and I decided to have to expand on them. So, Mr. Chernobyl, sorry, sir, a thief by work. A thief by the way you bring her yesterday. A thief by a small. Would I interview this bank governor? Now, Global Times, a particular journalist, a seasoned journalist, where they call Sheikh Bawo. Now, I interview Professor Kalon. That time, Professor Kalon in America now, in a university inside the lecture, in North Colorado University. Professor Kalon take this interview as somebody where they just not appoint, but they're not approval yet. So it will get perspective of waiting in they can take of the job where in they can do na Sierra Leone for can salvage the economy, for can pull the economy from that 17% will be there, from that problem will get where the dollar been there high, it been there high to a level of 7,500 to $1. If you can pull up for Grand can maybe to 4,000 or 4,500, you understand? Now in Abignon responsibility they respond. Not see waiting the journalist ask him, not listen to waiting he respond. Check by one of the journalists he say, sir, professor, as you know, the Leone has been depreciating against the major currencies over the past 4 months. Over the past 4 months, then away 4 months, away Mada take over, because this interview it happened in August. Mada take over in April, not so. April, around that. Now Mada take over. So this interview it been again in August 2018. Over the past 4 months. So what would you say are the reasons for the plummeting of the Leone? The journalist they ask Professor Kalon, when a professor of economics, they ask him, say, the dollar or the Leones don't depreciate, it don't go down in value against the pounds, against the dollar, against them foreign currency. Then, Mr. Professor, what do you think? Say, now you're responsible for this particular downward trend of the currency. What's in the professor answer? What's in the professor answer? Now listen. Professor Kalon say, with respect to your question, I refer you to an article I titled The ABC of Exchange Rates. So the professor, they refer the journalist to one article we be not right, we call the ABC of Exchange Rates, which was published in your newspaper some time back. A reminder, say that particular article you have been all right, ABC of the exchange rate, where it get for do with Sierra Leone. He say, I've been publishing now in the newspaper, or would have been publishing in the newspaper. He say, in that article, I lay blame for the current currency crisis on two things. That time the opposition just not lost power. This current opposition, then just not lost power. This professor, he been on the right about the economy. Now, my way, he understand about economy so much. So he be the giving professional input as to what's in the problem and maybe how to solve the problem. So he be the giving input even before they make him bank governor. So he refer this journalist to that one day. He say lay the blame for that current crisis, where that economy day at a point where the dollar have been there against the Leone, 7,500 Leones to $1. At the point Usai, we may get a situation Usai petrol price na be how much? It'll be 10,000 Leones, or be around 10,000 Leones. Now that 10 day, but in as an economist, it been considered that one they say with Mr. SF, yes, I consider that they say yes. I mean the dollar been go high. You know, the dollar been not go high because Anes Kumar came made the dollar in 2007, made the dollar at around 4,000. You know, so by the time Anes Kumar come out, the dollar been not go to 7,000 or 7,500. So you understand? So that's him they talk about. Say the downward trend of that particular economy day, him in the right about them in the professor. However, the journalist in question now about the last 4 months where Mada Bureau take over because the dollar been go down now fast. It been go down fast in that 4 months. So he say he blame on two things. Now Lord listen. One, unsustainable fiscal deficit. With fiscal deficit, it's simply they say, now, how will they make money as against how will they keep money or how will they spend money? How will they make money as against, now look at how they will spend them. They define an area. It's a shortfall in government's income compared to spending. How will they make money and how will they spend money or how will they keep money? I explained in that article that Professor Kalonde talks so, that when the government runs a fiscal deficit, it borrows the overspending from the Bank of Sierra Leone, which serves as the government banker in much the same way as commercial banks serve as bankers of the public. The Treasury typically issues an IOU. This is now a code that can use now banking system for where government they lend money. IOU now just that they can just write IOU. Government they lends money to the bank in the form of Treasury bills, and the bank accordingly credits the government account with the face value of the Treasury bill. Professor in economics, if they try to give me an analysis of the problem, you understand how government how government be the manage money, the APC government be the manage money, then 10 and day. The APC government, according to what he said now, he said largely they may do crediting through that system what they call IOU. Banking them, they can do them. They can just say in the form of bills, then bearer bonds, unakiri more than bearer bonds, they can announce on a radio. Then he send them out. So what think can happen? Then bank and they in turn the credit government. You understand? Then bank and they in turn the credit government, because if the economy they in certain way, you go for use that kind system, or APC didn't think say they for use that kind system then they for ensure say they're able for manage the economy, they're able for manage them. So now that one day the bank governor be referred to. They be referred to that part there. He say going forward, this process is analogous to the bank printing its money, because it makes purchasing power available to the government that is not backed by actual production. Now, big word in the wire. Basically, it is say the government. I want to underline this part here. Please, listeners, please, I want to pay attention. I want to underline this part. It is say the government, they make a fool of themselves, because if production not there, that economy way they talk about, you're not going for, you're not grow, you're not going for manager, you're not going for manage that kind of fiscal deficit there. In from production for day. I want for agree with them on that. From your small economics, wasabi, I want for agree with the bank governor. Yes, production for day in a way where you government, you go for meet up your spending. You know what need for the go take credits and loans and this and that from other banks. What does the professor say? That's what he say. They say, it's that be, you understand? So professor don't give it down there. That's one of the unsustainable fiscal deficit. We in say now one part of the problem. Two of the problem is say na corruption. You say na corruption. Professor said that na corruption. Given the rampant corruption, that means they refer to the then opposition, the opposition will be in power. Given the rampant corruption that existed throughout the tenure of the past government, I don't tell you, no, so it will refer to the APC government. The rampant corruption will make the economy or inflation rate, the dollar, been there at 7,500 to LEON'S. We will buy petrol manageably, I think around 10,000 for liter around 100 or so, 8,000. I not quite remember again. But inflation maybe 17%. You understand? You say, given the rampant corruption that existed throughout the tenure of the past government, much of the fiscal deficit were motivated by corruption. Professor, this is now professor in interview with them just to appoint him as bank governor. After he not go Sierra Leone 8 for take office. He said the beneficiaries of that corruption might have hoarded loans. People that will benefit from that corruption now the annexed by Kuruma government, he said it's possible say they don't keep the loans. Now that make we they get the problem we they get in that first 4 months we Mother Bill take over. At that time we immediately take interview. Now that one they levy on. Now that they blame. We saw holding the loans. We saw in the Kemosi say, a reference Kemosi say, one in video where during the election, Kemosi say in the shape money, he puts bundles of money, they share back to people them. For him, he say that one is a serious problem and it got to do with corruption. So that kind of way where them they spend money, he believes say they get cash where they don't keep. He said now, and they quote the bank governor again. Now that a commission of inquiry has been empaneled to investigate their corruption, the beneficiaries of that corruption are unloading their hoarded loans on the foreign exchange market in order to convert them into hard currency that they could smuggle out of the country. Professor, because they not hoard their money then they, so waiting they cause that money for depreciate in value now because the rush there is rush for change money into foreign currency. There is rush for change money into foreign currency so that them people there we term as corrupt people them they go ensure say they keep the money them in hard currency, whether pounds or dollars, so that they will keep. That is now professor in answer we give. One, on sustainable fiscal discipline. Two, corruption in the past government. I continue to draw your attention to that issue we say the bank governor, the military, specifically that 10 day, then just not appoint him as bank governor, you not take office yet. I want to keep this because I want to get an informed answer who they send to we about how we describe this economy and who we think say responsible for the economic crisis. So, what's happen here? What's happen here? Few days ago, a journalist from AYV interviewed the bank governor. Few days ago, the journalist Namara Naba, one very, very, very fine journalist, Sierra Leone, he interviewed the bank governor. The bank governor makes statements them where I need to go through the interview all and they capture, then key to them by the statements where the bank governor will make to Amadou Lamraba. He said the people of Sierra Leone, the bank governor said the people of Sierra Leone, therefore pray for let the Ukraine war. Amadou Lamraba asked the bank governor on the current state of the currency because the journalists know and people of Sierra Leone know say the money don't depreciate. They don't depreciate in value. Like I say right now, it will be say the current the inflation don't go over 30%. Because we look at economic trading, the data in July have been 29.50%. So the journalists will talk to them. this bank governor, he said, we pray for letting Ukraine war done, so that we will able for build what will be not lost during the pandemic. This is the bank governor, I mean, say so. But the family, the bank governor, during the time where COVID no day, Ukraine war no day, where in the last 4 months on a mother bill, the currency been depreciate with speed. When I ask the bank governor, what he say? He say now because of them people that we been in a power when at the APC, he said they not been do proper physical discipline. It not been the physical discipline, it not been sustainable. He said they spend money too much. In your words, you not blame Ebola, you not blame no. The bank governor say this now an issue we get for do with corruption, because we see how people then they use money, they take loans and they pass with them and not hold their money there. In the first 4 months, when at 2018, COVID not been carried, a Ukraine war not be nothing, we not be see anything like war. So, but when the bank governor they talk now, the first way tell me say they are not pray. So not pray for the Ukraine war. Say because I need cause this problem we'll get. The journalist talk to them further. What did the bank governor say? At the quote also, I want to tell the people of this country that I am gravely sorry that I am in a situation where I know we are all hurting, but I don't have the capacity to get rid of that hurt. Lord, give yourself 1 minute. The bank governor, this bank governor, we've been getting a brilliant idea about the economy. We've been getting a first thinking idea, say corruption, unsustainable fiscal discipline, say na in the problem, because you see them how they spend money like this and spend like that. At the stress this point. At that time, the dollar now been 7,500. The Terry and Escroma take over, the dollar been around 4,000 or 4,500. So within 10 years of Anis Nkrumah in government, the dollar it go up by, I think, around 3,000. Una the calculator for una calculator. It go up by just 3,000 within 10 years. 10 years. But yet, the bank governor, you not blame the world inflation, the world crisis on the trending problem at the time. You not blame Ebola, who been get now country wait 2 years. See, I don't mean to go, will be there helpless. 2 years, yet still, government been pay people their salaries steadily on a monthly basis. Government been pay. I remember, na Kalfara Mara, na been the minister around that Ebola term. I remember he go to parliament and make a statement. A statement, not to just say government get enough money for pay salaries to all government workers in next 1-2 years. Now that he are sure, say, then they increase salaries inside Ebola, during Ebola. So then increase salary. Remember, vividly say, they may increase salaries by 15%. That time the way Kalfara Mara, when I be the Minister of Finance, they make that statement. Now Parliament. That have been inside Ebola. But yet, this bank governor not blame all that way economic woes on Ebola. No. This is a professor where they study or where they teach, where they lecture like university in America. They make an assessment. Saying that because they don't hold the money, they don't keep it. Now that make it happen so. But here this man, few days ago, when I interviewed him, he said he not get the capacity. He not get the capacity. When you look at capacity, for me, I look at them in two ways. One, maybe the autonomy, what I've been talk about now, the law, say this bank governor get autonomy, or the bank get autonomy. Maybe if a friend say if you use that autonomy, the president will sack him. Maybe that's what it mean by capacity. Another way, when we interpret in statement of I don't have the capacity, it is to say that he lacks the knowledge, he lacks the experience, he lacks what it takes to turn around things from where they are going right now. From Usai Mitam, we have been 17% of inflation, to Usai Day now, we are almost 32 or 33%. He said it's either he lack the capacity for do things them where you're not supposed to do, or we're supposed to do, but he's afraid the president may not sack him, or he lack the capacity because he not get the knowledge, he not get the skill, he not get the know-how. If I were the journalist, maybe I would probe him a little bit further for telling what he mean by he not get capacity. But yet, he left them open, and we get for interpreter. Because for me, that's a big word. That's a very big word. Today, the Leones, National Leone, they can see if somebody else send update for me of the currency. Might see if somebody else send for me update. Hold on, please. Might see if somebody else send for me update of the currency. Okay, good. Somebody they remind me say petrol the liter have been 6,000. Thank you very much. You know, be 10,000. I mean 6,000. That time when the bank governor will take over, or that time when Mother be in government will take over. Thank you very much. Per liter. So I not see the current currency rate against the dollar, the Leones against the dollar right now. I want for let somebody help me, because the last time when somebody give me an update on that one day, I've been 1,700. But when me, they send money them 2 days here to Sierra Leone. When I not say them money grab like in Chapwe, what then change them for now 1,550 per $1. If they wanted to change them at $1,550 and 50 Leones, that it means say on the ground in Sierra Leone, you cannot get it for anything less than $1,700. That is where the problem is. That is where the economy is. When we bank governor, the parliament, then they talk about the economic crisis. They want to blame the bank governor. Not to this, now the talk of the crux of this discussion. The crux of this discussion is where the dollar they fall, where all this they happen, where the economy they get problem, where president they want money, where we see say corruption, not like accountability again. The Parliament of Sierra Leone not ever begin talking, then they call the bank governor. Now only they begin talk about this bank governor, where the bank governor say we don't change money from old Leones to new Leones. In September or October, we've been supposed to run done with the old Leones, but what they do, they give leeway. They give leeway to other people. We not bring them money come yet. Now the bank. We not bring them old Leones now the bank. And they give them way for let them bring this money to them banks or to the banks. Now only when the bank governor make that statement, now they receive then they call bank governor and parliament. And what did they promote that one day? Now the opposition newspapers. And if the opposition newspapers they promote that one day, they not promote the falling and failing economy, they not talk about them, then talk about Why make the bank governor for say they extend the date for let people able to change the money where they profit me and you? That's now a question where me and you go for answer. That's not the question. Apart from how you refer to this economy, how you call this economy in 3 words, apart from that one day, the question we'll go for answer this afternoon. Now, why the opposition members of parliament, they say they want for ensure say, they call bank governor, may go explain why they extend the date for keep the money. Now remember, when they interview the bank governor 4 years back, where he just took over, he say in one for, sorry, the reason we give for the failing system is that because corruption and unsustainable fiscal discipline or fiscal deficit. He said that because of them 2 things and they. The corruption is linked to the opposition members and the APC members hoarding and they hide money. So the question we're going to ask, would I give bank governor the authority for change the money in the first place? Now parliament. So if bank governor don't change the money, we all know say not a better idea. Bank governor change the money based on his statement. It means say if they do them for target people that the opposition where they believe say don't keep the loans, don't keep the money. Now that make the bank governor change the money. And they can't prove to now for say the bank governor not based in calculation on anything for change from old loans to new loans. Now because he believes say opposition don't hold the money based on this statement we don't read. But we can't go for go tell now for say bank governor, they know what they do. Parliament of Sierra Leone, they know what they do. Which is why, as I said, they extend this date, but they may not get a mandate to say, okay, go on, change the money quick, do it fast. Without even opposition grumbling or talking, they don't go give them the authority. Say, change the money, go do them. Why they change this money here? Without asking questions. Parliament go on. Yeah, this year, yeah, this lawyer, look at yourself, go change the money. Now, the bank governor say, I extend the date to June. Trouble down for them. The opposition, now then they criticize that particular measure, that particular step where the bank governor don't take. I think say the bank governor don't, he look himself, something I make it say not get capacity. He look himself funny. He said not be say both government and opposition don't use me. They don't use me now. So he just look and say, this sense money for law just stop everything in October. Yeah, then we change them. Yeah, then we change them. Now make sure say we keep this system until next June. So in Sierra Leone, you get 1 country and 2 currency. I quote Chairman of the African Express. 1 country, 2 currency. Not 1 country, people again. No, it's now 1 country, 2 currencies. Get the old loans, you get the new loans. So now we take a quick break. Now we can dissect. Sorry. Now we can talk about waiting. Now the intention will make parliament then just concerned about why the bank governor they extend the date. Will they take this short break? Will they come back? Will they can talk about why them people have to do this? We're in our opposition. Members of parliament generally, we don't give this bank governor, them don't approve them for let go ahead and change the money. Then we take with time. Then we go into this short break. We'll come back. We can talk about what do we think. And yourself, you get right for tell me what you think.
Salon Famboden, Mina the British High Commissioner Lisa Chesley, Ade Magburka today, Natonko Lili. Ade call we all for come out na door and come register. Because na the power where you get for pick in the next election, who that will represent you. This week, we dey go all about na the country. If you see we, make we tell our do. Today, we're on voter observation missions across the whole country. It's phase 2 of voter observation. We're talking to electoral commission officials, to party agents, and to people registering to vote. It's your civic responsibility and your right to vote. But if you don't register, you won't be able to vote next year. So make sure you have your say in Sierra Leone's future and come out and register to vote.
Fam Leonardo, Mina Samura Kamara, Una sabi this face now. Presidential candidate for the APC 2018 and presidential aspirant for the flag bearership of the APC for 2023 elections. When we start this voter registration process, I've been talked to Una. I've been plead with Una for let all man come out. We eligible for register. Tuesday, we dey start phase 2. I want start for tell Una thank you. Una always come out for register. Una no give up. If you not register, phase 1 must come out and register for phase 2. I want to tell the agents and all we facilitate. I want to tell thank you to all the staff of the ECSL. We facilitate the process. And more particularly, I want to tell we international development partners them. We try for follow up this process for make sure say it go on smoothly. We encounter a lot of difficulties during phase 1. Our ECSL make sure say then difficulty also will not repeat them. I emphasize to them as always, they don't get target, they don't get a number for proof to anybody except that number. We then register, we all man register for votes. That is the number. Don't forgive any center a target. Do you allow avoid all the one? There is no target. No law no they will give you the target. No law no say now one machine for the registration center. The rule is that democratic rule. Anybody we eligible who don't reach the age for register for vote, forget the facility, the opportunity for register. When the time reach, they will go vote. First time voters them, do you wanna allow them? They are not strangers. They are not a part of the building of Sierra Leone. So do you ECSL? Not create problems for first time voters. Police are there around. We not create problems there. So either then the whole old people them they say they go loiter, then they go Hamburg. No, if person go there, he try for make sure say let people they register. We not listen and facilitate. Nobody no one for Google's confusion and registration center. That is democracy. That is peace. The people them they wanna continue for beer. Let nobody not drive you in a registration center. You get the right for register. No vex. However, I say, you go register. That patience will not show during the first phase, and will not show more of that in the second phase, where they start this coming Tuesday. I tell you, thank you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Samura Kamara for that message the way you give. Una not forget, all man, for we all, we go for come out. We go for come out. We go for come out. For go register. That's the British High Commissioner message. We go for come out. So I can always say the language inside them born you, now you will speak better than any other person. So, but trust me, the British High Commissioner, he'll try, he'll do very well because in Creole, it's not like me and you, but you do understand. So what you do, you try to communicate with we. Now we own local dialect. Now go to the messages and quick before we can talk about Parliament and we own analysis. Yeah, Mr. George Orwell, he say the economy will describe it as free fall, in bracket, retrogression. Wow. Mr. George Orwell, thank you very much for that message. Usman Kamara, himself say he describe the economy as free fall. Memuna Johnson say the economy is bad for every Sierra Leonean. Mr. Prezo Song J-Man, he say the economy is in shambles or shambolic economy. Wow, that's a big word. We don't understand that one. Melvin, he just used one word to say the economy is bad. Mr. Usman Kamarika again said the economy down the drain. Very good. Mr. Kamara said William of Steroid Movement will be on this same platform tomorrow, Monday. Don't forget. William said therefore day at this platform. Tomorrow, then it come from Mr. Prince Kuruma. Mr. Usman Kamara said the economy is broken beyond repair. Broken beyond repairs. Mr. Usman Kamara again said life support. Say the economy is on life support. I was in Sierra Leone for 2 weeks ago. I see my brother and sisters suffering hard because of hardship in the country. Thank you, Memuna Johnson. Always on this platform from Texas. Very good. Somebody to watch away from Texas. Thank you very much. Fode Mustafa Toure, go back and check. It was 14%. This person, they remind me, say, where I think in the travel talk, say, where the bank government will take over, the inflation will be 14%, according to what this person say. Thank you very much. We all get our own views and what again on this platform. It depends on how you pull the data, what we talk about that particular 10 day. I wonder if this guy preaching to us now did not have 11 years to the story of the country. I wonder if these guys preaching to us now did not have 11 years to the story of the country. I don't understand what Victor Spain they say. I don't know. Victor Spain send a message. Even if you criticize me, please be clear. If you need to criticize or if the platform you criticize, be clear. I will read them because that's a democracy. Okay, so gas price, petrol price, 6,000 a day for liter. Information truly is power. It comes from Prince Kuruma. The person say, listen, Mr. Wari say, inflation was at 14%. The dollar was at 7,000 and fuel 6,000 per liter. Very good. So you see, people that day we get information, we get the information there, we know about anything there. So, like I say, it depends which kind of data you may talk about, which kind of data you may play with data. But the fact remains, we all know say not be 10,000 leos for fuel, the dollar not be 10,000 leos, nothing not be there around that. Always blaming the opponents. It's a brilliant here splitting analysis. That's coming from Mr. Kuruma. Abdul say, I wonder where this bank governor had this professor from. No, not for it that one day. The bank governor gets a legitimate professor. He get from the United States of America. Now, professor, in fact, he made a lecture in Hampton University in America. We didn't call him for go manage the central bank. So I was expecting him as someone who says he knows economics to know how economy should run in a state. Printing new money is a long-term debt. I'm not saying that you want to talk about. New money printing devalue relatively all money in the system. This man has failed the state and destroyed the economy. That's the bank governor. Usman Kamara, he said the dollar right now at 1,780 leons. Wow. Wow, Mr. Bank Governor. Mr. Bank Governor. Parliament. Mr. President. People say the dollar now 1,780 leons to $1. This is brilliant analysis. Are you following where the brother is leading us? they asked the group, the economy has been battered by GHOR Madabiu. I know it's not GOM. They talk about GOM Madabiu. Okay. Good luck, Kamara. Things are really hard in Sierra Leone. I understand that one day. Saying the word from New York, but I say things are really hard from Sierra Leone. Sierra Leoneans, thank you for sending those messages, and Lord keep the messages and coming. Let me talk about why this parliament not being concerned when the bank governor makes statements say that opposition and then gets the money, I don't keep the money. Why this parliament not being concerned when the bank governor say they want to change the money from old to millions? Why this parliament not being concerned when the bank governor give $68 million for they get millions? Yes, they've been concerned. We see them call parliament, then bring them come, they bring them to questioning. Sorry, they call the bank governor, they bring them to questioning. But we'll not see more than that one day. We'll not see them call for resignation. We'll not see them call, because that was a whooping sum, $68 million for taking them out of the system. Who side that money they go? Just because you want the LEONE'S. Was that a good policy from my own perspective? No. If we go back to the bank governor's statement, the only way we salvage the economy, way they manage the monetary system, now way the economy they produce. There's no other way. There is no other way. And for me, which I think say you get it wrong again, now we mix macroeconomic policies with microeconomic principles and policy system. I think say you miss the whole thing. Then to the day, na similar language they get, but they trend on different lines. For me, the bank governor, I not say you know what to talk about. Waiting, I believe, say don't happen to the bank governor, we make he use that big word. Say he not get capacity. He not get the capacity for get rid of what's in the happen right now. It's as good as saying, I resign. It's as good as saying, the president, you don't involve him in some way, I not get capacity for manage. It's as good as saying, parliament, sometimes would have been giving me bad advice. Or would have been approved bad thing for me. Because when I be don't caution me, say, hey, hold on, not run away with this. Because Sierra Leone, the system is different. Watch the economy first. Because definitely, if this man come, he take over, he talk about the opposition and blame them squarely because we will get problem of inflation at 14% or at 16% as we see an entire day. It depends which data you come from. Yet still, this bank governor, he say he blame that on the opposition. Now, when they ask him, what did he talk about? Say not get the capacity. Now, Lord, pray for Ukraine war. Make the Ukraine war done. If the war not done, but when you can't take over, Ukraine war not be there on. How improved you improve the economy? How much we improve the economy before 2020, where COVID they hit? How much we improve the economy before 2020, before 2021, where they get the Ukraine war, or before 2022, where they get the Ukraine war? How much you improve the economy? The members of parliament, them, they get something for answer to me and you. From million perspective, from million analysis. Because when I listen to this wire, the bank governor will make a statement because he will make a case. He will make a case for change new currency, for change the new notes, the old notes to the new notes. The bank governor make a statement. He say the most important thing with the redenomination is that it provides psychological boost to the people that the economy is getting better. And I repeat this one now, you are big. He said, the most important thing, and I quote the bank governor, if you're wrong, you call me, say, Mr. Harrison, you're wrong. And not ever make that statement. 1 year back, we make that case for the new notes, for they print new money, for they change the money. In quote now, he said, the most important thing with redenomination is that it provides a psychological boost to the people that the economy is getting better. You see, there is something where these people, they take advantage of. They say, Salomon need to read. Salomon need to research. We need to investigate. We need to find out. So that they can go and talk anything. They can go and make any statement. They can go write policy. They put on them. They not follow through on them because they believe, say, we in Asiredu, we know the read. But this will be a bank governor in statement where he make, that's why he make case for change the money. So I ask me and you with parliamentarians then, if in the diary, this man say the only thing where this go bring come, why change the new money? I just for let people them think say the economy they get better. Can you imagine? He said now for let just people that people that just feel say things they get better, the economy they get better. He said that make I want change the money. But yet he went on to parliament, yet parliamentarians, me and you, the people who elect for going to parliament, especially the opposition, they were there, they saw it, they saw the law, waiting for approve, they approve them. They approve them. Say yes, would they allow you for let go change the money? We not catch the joke. We not catch the joke. The joke here is the bank governor be don't say earlier. He said people that were in the last government and they don't hold the money, they don't keep the loans. Then 1 year ago, what he say? He say, I want for do this, for change the money, for just like a psychological effect, for let people think say, but this way I always say not change the money, so that means say the economy, it can grow. Oh, we don't put 3-0 on the loans. That means the economy can grow. This is not the economist. We're not a professor. Now he use this language. Yet he went to parliament and parliament passed that law. So both the Madabio government and bank governor and the parliament of Sierra Leone, they will target the opposition. We not get position right now. We're not in a parliament. They will target the Anes by Kuruma, the Samura Kamara. This now the cat who they let out of the bag. So it simply means say they weaponize the currency as a state weapon against opposition members. That is why today we get the worst economy in the history of the democracy. Since we restored democracy in 1996, this is the worst economy. What you do? Now because people then decide say they want to weaponize the economy, both from members of the opposition where they serve in a parliament, including the ruling party in a parliament, the Madabio government, and the bank governor where they bring come for can use. Now that make, as you say, so they extend them and begin holler, hey, what's it extend them for? Why you have to extend them? What they call in a parliament? They not call them a parliament where the economy begin go down the drains. They not call it a parliament where we get what the economists can call runaway inflation. Where you wake tomorrow, the dollar don't go up. Where you wake the other day, the dollar don't go up. That is runaway inflation. They not call on a parliament for good discuss anything and day. Now why he extend the dates? Now they want for call on a parliament for. Who not they defend the bank governor? In no way. In policies and crap. In policies, because if I don't know say, he get an autonomous office. He gets office where he get autonomy. If I don't look based on his professional knowledge and run the monetary policy in Sierra Leone. Enough for listen to politicians. Because that make them say the bank forget autonomy. But when he go and ensure say he listen to politicians from both sides, the opposition and the ruling government, now that make we day that the state will mere unity, they will all the punish. Because now when you send money to Sierra Leone, you like $200, $300 send for the month. Papa, you know, do that money we send, I'm gonna market all thing on go up. Yesterday, oh, we're gonna market now so, but today we're gonna market all thing on go up. That's the disaster. That is what is wrong in weaponizing the currency for politics. That is why it's not good for low elect people them we get bad hearts. Like I always say, Madabio, I need to talk like late Pakaba for say when I excuse me, no, Madabio get bad heart. And he meet up opposition back, we're ready for help him for destroy the country. So what do they need to talk about? What can I talk about? What do they need to talk about? For this economy, what do they need to talk about? The opposition MPs, what do they need to talk about? The Africanist press, based on the investigation, then find out, say, I want just do this last lap so that we go take a break, read the text message, and then we go. The Africanist press find out, say, the president of Sierra Leone and in WEF, then two no more, waiting, they use what then take na the treasury, what then take na the account. By the way, Sierra Leone they run a single treasury system of account. Sierra Leone had single treasury system. That means say all the money all together in Sierra Leone, now one basket, and outside they go, now the Bank of Sierra Leone. Sorry, the central bank. All the money all the manage in Sierra Leone, all the raise, all the go to Sierra Leone, all the go to the bank, because it's a single treasury accounting system. Now in Sierra Leone they wrong. That particular system they put in place in 2016. But the APC government been slow for implementing. When Madabio come, he said the best way for run this economy now for put the money all in one basket so that any money they go out, they know, any money they come inside, they know. Very good, brilliant idea. That one part the thing they were credit Madabio for. But it's not about putting the money together. It's not about putting the money together. Me, my wife, me picking them, we all they put money in one account. Very good. They bring about unity of purpose and all of that. But if they pay me not the papa, I mean you want just a grab every morning. I go take $2,000 every morning, $500 every morning. What's in that beginning will say, Papa, this account will go for Sheba. Papa, this account will go for splitter. What am I only on? Because this way they go so. But because the Ministry of Finance don't collude with the central bank, with the bank governor, and Parliament of Sierra Leone, the president and the wife and the first family, then they waste, then they spend money like it's more than drunken sailors. Because they mean they say, we for ensure say, we not spend money like how Kemosi say, but they spend money in those days. Please, I want to give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, please. I will just take this short break. Short one. Short break. There's something to have. Thank you very much. We are back. Sorry for that small itch. Yeah, this bank governor, what's he for do? Now for tell the people of Sierra Leone, not for say no capacity. Now for say Parliament and Madabio government, they don't fool me into doing something one of them ever don't do at all. for change the money. If we come and say sorry to the people of Sierra Leone. But one for let we break, let we look at something then. We then they tell me, but this not thing that we not real thing them. Before I go there, ma look at your text messages and first. This bank governor ought to step aside. Thank you very much, Samuel Bangura. The politics of deception and impunity has been with us for far too long. There is big gap between the people and the government to the extent politicians continue to plunder the economy and rule the people as they please. It's a fact that the people don't have the capacity to hold their leaders accountable. The people don't get capacity. At the time this we don't come for low shows get capacity for govern. So sorry for appointing people away with the appoint or the elect people who they elect. And the time don't cancel because now make we need for go register. Share brilliance. Lucky ID, my seatbelt on for safe landing. Brilliant program. It come from Banks and Umar. So we point to what they make, not to one of malice. We point to what they make, not to one of backbiting. We point to what they make, not to one for say we will not let people away in a parliament. We will not let people away in a Minister of Finance, we not matter be in government. We will not let the bank governor. The point to what they make like that. We all get interest by Sierra Leone. And this, now for Sierra Leone, we all they do what we do. So for that simple reason, people therefore come out and tell me sorry. We sorry. Marabio, you're supposed to come out and tell me say I don't fail. Say sorry, the people of Sierra Leone, I don't fail because I've been supposed to come fight corruption. I never can fight corruption. What did the Africanist press find out? In 4 months, just within 4 months, June 15 to September 15, the president of Sierra Leone, President Marabio, he take from the account money for travel up to the tune of $2 million. President Marabio, he take another single treasury account for just 4 months, not for this 1 year. This 2022, waiting Africanist president put together. Now that the Marabio government take at least $2 million, $2 whooping million from the accounts. When they not come, they don't explain to we based on what you see, based on what you read. They're supposed for the ensure say they be transparent with we come to spending. We don't read the functions them of the Ministry of Finance. We don't read the functions them of Parliament. We don't read the functions of the central bank when the bank governor in office. Yet, their money are all the command of the system. What do you expect? Would they get a downturn in the economy? What in do? Because the economy is not producing. But yet, this one great man and his family go to the UN, for example. The UN wake up for 3 days, 4 days. Amos Marabio take here in WEF, here in family. Now $500,000. $500,000. Now I pull at the account. I pull at the economy. Where the mayor come to America, he take to Sierra Leone, you can't win for Sierra Leone, $1 million. We reach na salon and jealous. They say, we invite you. We invite in a police, we invite in a cell. Just to create distraction, just to create things them way not make sense. So the president for shame. It for shame for even talk to the mayor. It for shame for see police invite the mayor. Because for me, now utter jealousy. When you cannot do UN with $500,000, Mr. President, Amos, you can go for we. Amos, you can go to the economy. So not to the bank governor no more get responsibility. Not to the bank governor no more get problem. Parliament will approve how the bank governor for manage the money, we approve, say the bank governor, therefore go on and change the money without any cause, without any reason of financial prudence. Then give them, go ahead and change the money. Why they turn and want for blame that bank governor? When now your policy, when you think they want to approve, want to put in place, now you go by, now you follow. Why would I have for blame the bank governor? No more. They're crap policies, yes, but trust me, they're all. What are they? If the bank governor not get money, they take. The other they know Saka. It is Saka. So if you don't say that corruption, now be make the economy under and it's by Kuruma, where the dollar now be 7,000. Now corruption, now be make under and it's by Kuruma, where the gas price, the petrol for liter, now being 6,000. Within 10 years, if you say now corruption, if you say now unsustainable financial deficit or fiscal deficit, if you say them 2 things a day, bank governor is supposed to be honest. Instead of telling you say you don't get capacity, instead of telling you say don't pray for Ukraine war, you're supposed to be honest and tell you say parliament the government they fool you into using politics, into weaponizing the currency. Now that's now you don't realize we make you say, no, this is a lie, them they lie. Opposition will not keep that money. If they keep that money, if we don't pull a long term. When you don't realize that one day, if you don't tell me say, now this I don't realize. Now that make I extend the time for us to change this money. Now this regret I get, now that make I say to una the people of Sierra Leone, I am sorry. Them people here don't fool me. Me a professional. I learn a big university in America. If we don't go that far, for be honest, instead of talking in rhetorics like, oh, I'm not getting capacity, you get autonomy. But because you played at the hands of politicians, where their own economy where they want for run, and for target politicians or their opponents them, using state resources, just like how they use the ACC for go against opponents, just like how they use the police for go against opponents. And so they use you, professor, and so they use you for damage the economy the way where they damage us today. We want to stop the discussion so far. I let the fact say we all send messages. I let the fact say we all do justice on this program. We all give waiting we think say we supposed to give for the politician on the ground. They say una the people not gladdy. I see this one we say hi Mr. Wale, say great work. Let us continue the good work and talk for the people. The opposition members have gone hiding. Definitely, they don't go hiding because they don't go rogue. That's what happen in this system there. Where they go rogue, now that they do, they go hiding. So I want to end today young program with these wise words. These wise words come out from Eleanor Roosevelt. He said, life is not about finding yourself. He said, life is about creating yourself. Young people that will follow me, young people who listen to this program, wanna imbibe such a principle in life, not for just let people that know say my name now what they say, not for just people that know say now this school I go, not for just people that know say, oh, I've been getting this opportunity while they grow up. How you create yourself so that you can make difference in society. Very, very important. Integrity, very, very important. We don't see in our country today and a president, a whole president, it a fake receipt. When they ask him, instead of he come and talk about that and defend himself, now sack the auditor general. Then this man, now you get my cat before me, you back. Say, Wale wanna elect me. This man, we don't kill accountability. We don't kill transparency in Sierra Leone. Like somebody mentioned, it's a broken economy where they're beyond repairs. People that they will go repair. Go pull another hand, we will call the international community. We will call people and friends around the world. Then we'll come back. People that will put policies in place. Policies were devoid of politics. Policies where they ensure, say, the man and woman get company them. Now Sierra Leone, where they come, the African Union, they go to Minde, where they employ young people, them big company where they don't begin come. For ensure, say, put them policy in place, we not go drive away companies, but go bring companies them. We get for meat. This talk here boku, but we not go tire for the talk this talk. We will continue for the talk this talk. Integrity, it matter. Because what you do, you get for left office. Now that make I always say people that say, I the ace me up na Sierra Leone. I the ace me up, and I saw go me picking. Instead ace me up tomorrow na Sierra Leone. Say me your hand and clean, me set me hand and clean. I hold boku money, I maintain boku money for implement program for international organization. One day they not can knock be the mouth. Say grab log on police because that money don't eat her. Or will they ban you? Will they stop you from getting money because you don't eat with money? That's not integrity. Even when people know they see you, you do the right things. Not integrity. You not say because you're a president, you get power for sack anybody. It's not about you. It's not about your today. It's about tomorrow. You picking them because that character stain, you don't left pandem. It's about your wife. Because that character stain, you don't left pauna. I don't care if you go and force yourself for win election for another 5 years. Time they can win the commodity. You picking it for calm. Think about that. You know what they can't tell you picking say na papa, na mean na power, we kill accountability na Sierra Leone. Where it thief, it go fake receipt, it they misuse the funds, it they misuse money, it know they get account for them because it didn't think saying a president. You don't want that day for calm. Until we meet next week, now this program again, I want for tell you now, thank you, I want for tell you now, tata, and I want for left you now with this message from Dr. Samura.
Fam Leonardo, Mina Samura Kamara, Muna sabi this face now. Presidential candidate for the APC 2018 and presidential aspirant for the flag bearership of the APC for 2023 elections. When we start this voter registration process, I've been talked to Una. I've been pleaded with Una. For let all man come out, we eligible for register. Tuesday, we dey start phase 2. I want start for tell Una thank you. Una always come out for register. Una no give up. If you not register, phase 1 must come out and register for phase 2. I want to tell the agents and all we facilitate. I want to tell thank you to all the staff of the ECSL. We facilitate the process. And more particularly, I want to tell we international development partners then. We try for follow up this process for make sure say it go on smoothly. We encounter a lot of difficulties during phase 1. Our ECSL make sure say the difficulty also will not repeat them. I emphasize to them, as always, they don't get target. They don't get a number for proof to anybody except that number. We then register. We all man register for votes. That is the number. Don't forget any center a target. Do you allow avoid all the way? There is no target. No law no they will give you the target. No law no say now one machine for the registration center. The rule is that democratic rule. Anybody we eligible who don't reach the age for register for votes, forget the facility, the opportunity for register. When the time reach, they will go vote. First time voters them, do you not allow them? They are not strangers. They are not a part of the building of Sierra Leone. So do you ECSL? Don't not create problems for first time voters. Police are una there around. Una no create problems them. So either then the whole people them, they say they go loiter. Then they go Hamburg. No. If person go there, he try for make sure say, let people then register. Una listen and facilitate. Nobody no have for Google's confusion and registration center. That is democracy. That is peace. The people them, they are continue for beer. Let nobody not drive you in a registration center. You get the right for register. No vex. However, I say, you go register. That patience will not show during the first phase, and let will show more of that in the second phase when they start this coming Tuesday. I tell you, thank you.